Good evening. CIF Athletic Association welcomes you to Notre Dame High School for today's volleyball match against the Immaculate Heart Pandas. I am Jimmy Johnson with Sebastian Champion, and we will be your NDSN sports announcers for tonight's game. As we get ready to play, please remember, while the scoreboard defines the length of the game, the real final score is determined by the sportsmanship we display, because nothing beats great sportsmanship.
I agree with you, Jimmy. This night is going to be a blast. We have the Notre Dame JV Knights versus the Immaculate Heart JV Pandas. For those of you who are wondering, tonight is the Dig Pink night, as you see the pink from balloons to jerseys to the wall. Every year, the ND Girls Volleyball program comes together to raise awareness and money for breast cancer research with the Side Out Foundation. Last year, our Dig Pink night raised $6,291 for the program-wide. This year, we're looking for $10,000, which will be a great success.
Yeah, it's a really great cause, from T-shirt sales to taco dinner to raffles, and you could even go to sideout.org to donate to our cause. Tonight we have a great matchup, as we mentioned before, between the Knights and the Pandas. For the Knights tonight, we have head coach Jessica Dorner leading captains Marissa Amarino, Charlotte Morris, and Paige Schwartz. And for the Pandas, we have head coach Jade Beavers leading captains Marin Forbes and Isabella Valenzuela. So you mentioned the Dig Pink game. What are some other things we might see in the crowd tonight?
Well, as you may see in the crowd, the students are also wearing pajamas. This is because this week was Spirit Week, and yesterday we had Twin Day, today Pajama Day, and happily, yet sadly for some, we have PSAT Day tomorrow. Students, for those listening, please come in your uniforms. Also, This week we are leading up to homecoming. This Friday is the homecoming game, also broadcasted by us, NDSN, and Saturday is homecoming.
Thank you, and we'll now get started for our matchup.
Great serve by number 6, Marissa Amarillo. And Immaculate Heart with the first point of the game.
Yeah,
1-0.
Great play by Immaculate Heart, though. The ball went over, and Immaculate Heart just tipped it over the blockers for Notre Dame. They expected a spike, but it just wasn't that, and it got over their defensive line.
Number 28 with the serve for Immaculate Heart. ND just barely hitting it back. Immaculate Heart with a set and a spike right over. Good block by number 1 on ND.
Yeah, and a great job by Notre Dame picking up that point, as Charlotte, as you mentioned, got that block to set Notre Dame up for an easy hit, and it ricocheted off the Pandas' hands. It made it hard for them to pick up that ball to keep the play going.
Good serve by Caroline right down the middle. Immaculate Heart failing to hit it back over.
Yeah, I think there was a little miscommunication after the first hit. It was hit in between a couple people, and the miscommunication getting to that ball and getting the right hit on it.
Yet again, another great serve by number 24. And Immaculate Heart just barely missing it.
Yep, and a great job by Notre Dame with the block to keep them serving. Number 32 for Notre Dame serving right now.
Great serve and great hit back over by Immaculate Heart. This is a great point as Immaculate Heart wins the point. The score being 1-3.
Yeah, a great job. Now 2-3. Notre Dame winning as the ball was tipped over. Once again, you saw that over the defensive line for Notre Dame. It tipped off their fingers, but they weren't quite able to recover and get it.
Good serve by number 24, Immaculate Heart right down the middle, but yet a great spike by ND. Unable for Immaculate Heart to hit it back over.
Definitely a great spike. Amazing job. Hits it right down. And Notre Dame now with the ball. Number 10 for Notre Dame, Olivia Oberlander, serving.
Yeah. Great hit by Immaculate Heart, but just great defense by
amazing block by number 1 on Notre Dame. Charlotte Morris, as I mentioned before, one of the captains leading this team, a key factor for Notre Dame winning this game.
Number 15, Immaculate Heart serving over straight down the middle. Notre Dame barely making it over. Good block by ND as number 19 from Immaculate Heart attempts to hit it over, but barely misses it.
Yeah, a great block, as you mentioned before, by Paige Schwartz, a captain for Notre Dame, a junior, and it kept the ball in play for Immaculate Heart, and eventually the ball went in Notre Dame's favor.
Great serve by Charlotte Morris as she hits it back, and a great hit by ND with what a great rally as, missing it ND, but it was a great rally by Immaculate Heart.
Yeah, off the fingertips by Notre Dame, and it was really tough for them to get that ball, but Notre Dame not able to get that point. Tips off the fingers too high for each player as they kept tipping it higher and higher.
Great serve by Immaculate Heart, number 19, Cleo Riley. ND hits in the net, but nice returns.
Yeah, definitely. Immaculate Heart keeps going and has the ball right now. Number 19 for them.
Number
Cleo
19 serving
Riley
for
is
Immaculate Heart.
serving, and it goes into the net. So far, we've seen Notre Dame dominating the front line by the net. I mean, there's been great hits on both sides, but you had a couple great blocks. But the great thing with Immaculate Heart is they were able to recover from each of those blocks, and nothing you could do about good blocks.
Yes, I agree.
Great placement by Notre Dame as well with their hits. I'm really excited to see what goes on, and if Immaculate Heart can continue to predict when a big block is coming. As you can see, they really tipped the ball over twice already, and that's
Catherine
been
Converse just hitting it just slightly out.
Yeah, back to what I was saying. That's been two of the points that Immaculate Heart has been getting. So if they continue to do that, this will keep the game close and give them a win in the set.
Good serve by number 26 for Immaculate Heart as ND hits it over with a spike. Immaculate Heart barely making it over and just missed it.
Yeah, and Immaculate Heart went to go get that ball and save it. A little miscommunication, but the ball was close to the net, and a player trying to save the set for them.
Fantastic serve by Sophie Oldham.
Yeah, but on that last
On
play,
ND.
they hit the net. It was a net violation, which gave the ball to Notre Dame, which is now the second set for Notre Dame.
Sophie Oldham reserving and makes it over. Immaculate Heart hitting back right to the corner. ND just misses it. Number one, Charlotte Morris. What great thing she's doing today, but just barely misses it.
Definitely a great effort by Charlotte, and as I mentioned before, a good tip to the right side of Notre Dame's court. Not able to get there as the serve goes. Kate Converse maybe setting up for the hit, and it goes to number 32 for
ND
Notre Dame.
hits it straight to number 11 on Immaculate Heart. Mila Harkness.
Yeah.
What a great spike.
Caroline Paradon with the great hit, which gave Notre Dame that point. She really got a lot of air in there and then spiked it down, as you mentioned, on Immaculate Heart's defense, but they weren't able to keep it in play.
Good serve by Marissa Marino on Notre Dame's offense. Great block by Immaculate Heart, but goes out just barely.
Yeah, definitely. Katie Gorski there had the block after Charlotte Morris hit that ball, but the block went out. And so, unfortunately, for Immaculate Heart, they do not get the point there.
Yet another nice serve by Marissa Marino as great passes are going on throughout the game. Net violation for Notre Dame, but it was a great rally.
Yeah, the ball goes to Immaculate Heart there as they now get the point. Number 28 for Immaculate Heart with the serve.
This is a good game, really close, as Notre Dame spikes it right down the middle. Immaculate Heart just receiving it, and number 19 hits it to number 6. What a great pass to number 1, Charlotte Morris, as Immaculate Heart barely gets it, passes it to one another, but hits it in the net.
Yeah, there it was The ball was jumbled up with Immaculate Heart's defense. There was a dive there by number 10 for them, but wasn't able to get it. So now Notre Dame had got that point.
This whole night, Notre Dame has been making great, fantastic serves, which have been making ND get these points.
And Immaculate Heart gets that point. As you can see, number 10, Katie Gorski, with her second big block of the night. The first one actually went out of bounds and gave the point to Notre Dame. But this one put the ball on Notre Dame's side and allowed Notre Dame to make the mistake and give them the point.
Great serve by Marilyn Forbes, number 24 on Immaculate Heart, as there's a lot of competition here over the ball. And
yeah.
Immaculate Heart gains the point.
And Immaculate Heart, Marin Forbes, the captain, one of the captains for Immaculate Heart, actually served that and got back into her position to save that ball and give them that point.
Forbes with another great serve, and Notre Dame just hits it right out off the line.
Yeah, it was hit to Caroline Paradon, but wasn't able to reel it in as it went out of bounds on Immaculate Heart's side of the court. And now Forbes with another serve.
Yes, Immaculate Heart is doing great serves tonight, more like fantastic. But yet Notre Dame hits it right to the right side of the net, making it over, and Immaculate Heart unable to hit it back.
Yeah, great job by Charlotte Morris there. That is actually her second good hit. That was a floater right to the left side of the court, and it was very misdirectional, which gave Immaculate Heart a lot of confusion there.
Immaculate Heart wins this last point as Notre Dame hits it just out with the spike. And anyway, number 1, Charlotte Morris, she's showing great commitment tonight and great work.
Yeah, definitely. As the ball's hit to the net there by number 15, Hannah Calderon. As we've seen here tonight, the blocks have been the key factor, I think. I mean, there's been a lot of great hits on both sides, and the blocks have either won or lost points for each team.
Yes.
And so that's what's keeping both teams in a competitive match here.
Charlotte Morris with another serve as number 32, hits it, and they spike it straight close to the line, just out, but it was a great spike.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that spike came from Paige Schwartz. She's had a good night tonight as well, but it went out. Big hit. I don't know if Immaculate Heart would have been able to reel that in, but otherwise, great play by both sides. Just unfortunate for Notre Dame that it wasn't in.
Number 19, Cleo Riley, is serving right now on Immaculate Heart, straight to number 2 of ND, as great passes are happening here, and great saves by number 32 on ND. This is my favorite thing of the game, and oh my God, great save yet again by ND, but Immaculate Heart just makes it in the top right corner.
Amazing rally from both sides there. It went back and forth, back and forth. I didn't know what was going on there. The score is now Notre Dame 13, Immaculate Heart 14, as they broke that tie right there with an amazing back and forth action there. A lot going on there. Jumbled up words. I saw on that last rally, Immaculate Heart had the ball, and they were kind of playing hot potato with it and finally got it over.
Yes,
but,
yes.
I mean, lucky for them. They did really well. They're hustling around the court. Both sides. Notre Dame tried to get a diving save at the very end, but weren't able to. The score is actually 13 Notre Dame to 15 Immaculate Heart. So far, I think that Charlotte Morris has been a key player for Notre Dame to keep them in such a close match, as well as for Hannah Calderon and Katie Gorski with 2 big blocks for Immaculate Heart. Pandas are doing really well, keeping this game close, and hoping to win this rematch between the two teams.
Number 19, Cleo Riley, serving again for Immaculate Heart. Great passes by ND as they just barely make it over, but yet it was called out for going over the stick and going out of the line.
Yeah, Paige Schwartz there tried to get the ball over, but it was outside of the line marker, so it didn't count as a ball in play.
We're seeing great returns from ND with a lot of spikes and a lot of passes.
Yeah.
As number 2, our setter, is doing what a great job to be able to hit it to everyone. Number 9 of ND hits it straight to Immaculate Heart, and they weren't able to hit it back.
Yeah, Paige Schwartz with a huge hit. We saw her with the hit before. It didn't go out, but you saw the power behind it. That one, it got tipped by the blockers from Immaculate Heart and went in. Hard to get those ricochet balls. 14-16, Immaculate Heart winning.
Number 16, Notre Dame, just hits it with the serve, and Immaculate Heart is able to hit it back. They're great spike to number 22, but she's able to hit it back. Number 11 from Immaculate Heart sets it right over. And yet another spike from ND as Immaculate Heart returns it. And number one, Charlotte Morris with another spike. We've seen her with a lot of work in this game. And number 6 with the tip over the net, Marissa Amarino. What a great play.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you saw Charlotte with her 4th hit of the night. Caroline with her 4th hit of the night kept the ball in play. Great job by Immaculate, though, recovering those balls, saving it, keeping it in play, and attempting to block it. But even if they missed it, they had their passers get the ball up and keep the ball in play. Great job by the Pandas.
Immaculate Heart hitting it out as it's 16-16. Tie game. What a great game, and we're hoping for more.
Yeah, definitely. So far, it's 16-16 right now. Very tight, very competitive match right now. You've seen all 3 captains for Notre Dame step up, with Paige Schwartz having 2 big hits, Charlotte Morris with 4 big hits, and Marissa Amarino with that tip you just saw over the net, and a lot of great plays and passes, along with Caroline Paridon with just monster hits over the net and keeping the ball. A lot of power behind the balls. Like
yes.
You mentioned and saw that too.
I agree. We also have a great family out here at ND. We have cheerleaders cheering and great teamwork.
Yeah, definitely.
Number 16 of ND is beginning to serve.
Yeah, Kate Converse. She's been serving for 2 or 3 plays now.
Oh, just a great return by Immaculate Heart as they just barely are able to hit that serve.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Great Immaculate Heart with the spike straight to ND.
A lot of energy from the Pandas bench there, as what started off with Kate's serve, and then you had Caroline's huge hit, but then Immaculate Heart with the save and able to get the ball over.
Number 26, Immaculate Heart serves it straight to ND as ND just tips it right over.
Once again, that was Caroline. She already has 5 hits, and that was a tip to get them the point. Huge playmaker for Notre Dame right now, and keeping the ball on their side and now tied.
Number 2, Sophie Oldham with the serve. Immaculate Heart failing to hit it back. 17-18 ND.
Yeah, so number 2 for Notre Dame hit the ball out. Now the Pandas, number 11, Mila Harkins with the serve. Goes into the net, though.
And yet again, 18-18 tie game. Great. This is a great match so far, and hoping for even more.
Yeah, definitely. We're now one of the captains, Marissa Amarino, with the serve for Notre Dame.
Great serve by Marissa as it goes straight to the left side of the court. And yet a spike by Immaculate Heart as ND hits it straight to the left side yet again. Another spike by by Immaculate Heart as ND is able to tip it over, make it straight to number 26, but is unable to get it. Great job by ND.
Once again, great play by Caroline, breaking the tie 19-18. That was her second tip. She had 5 hits, as I mentioned before, just having a fabulous game. Notre Dame is hoping to continue being very good in league and to advance to 5-1 in league and 12-1 overall.
Very competitive as great serve yet again from ND, but Immaculate Heart is able to hit it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, a spike from ND, and Immaculate Heart is just keeps hitting everything back. They are not letting anything pass them. A lot of tips by ND, but yeah, Immaculate Heart just, again, with that strong defense.
Definitely a lot of great defense here. Immaculate Heart catching on to those tips.
Yes, still great passes by ND as Immaculate Heart is still getting it, but yet number 32, yet again, 32, Caroline Paradon hits it straight down the middle. ND getting the point, 2018.
That was our longest rally yet, and once again, it was ended by Caroline. Huge playmaker, biggest influence right now for Notre Dame, 18-20.
Good serve by Maria Marino. As Immaculate Heart keeps passing, hitting it back over, and just in for ND. Great hit.
Yeah, definitely. The ball was right on the line, and that's going to be a timeout for the Pandas. 21-18. Notre Dame is up. As I mentioned before, Notre Dame right now is 4-1 in league, hoping to advance, and 11-1 overall. Their last game against Marlborough went very competitive matchup. Went to the third set, but unfortunately lost 13-15 in the third set to give Marlborough the win. Their next game is on Thursday at Notre Dame Academy, another league game, so they hope to win that as well as this one.
You can continue supporting our Knights by going to their games, cheering on for them, and just being an ND family.
Yeah, Marissa Marino up to serve once again.
Good serve as Immaculate Heart spikes it straight to the back of the court. Great spike by number 24, Marin Forbes.
Yeah, I think there was a little confusion. I think that Notre Dame thought the ball was going out. Didn't quite go out. 21-19 Notre Dame, and Immaculate Heart trailing, hoping to get to 25 before Notre Dame to win this first set.
Good serve by number 28 from Immaculate Heart. As still great spike by number 10. Number 10, Olivia Oberlander.
Yeah, huge hit. That was a true spike. So far we said that a couple times, couple hits, but that was a true spike there. Went straight down, non-contested. Great job by Olivia.
Andy just barely making over the net by the serve. And yet another competitive battle between ND and Immaculate Heart. Block by number 10 from ND, but Immaculate Heart still is able to hit it back, and they hit it right in the right-hand corner. Immaculate Heart getting the point. Immaculate Heart 2022.
And just as Notre Dame was gaining a little bit more momentum to finish off the set, it was 22-19, now 22-20, as Immaculate Heart keeps this set alive and close. Now 24 for Immaculate Heart. Marin Forbes with the serve, but it goes out.
Yeah, 23-20. The Knights are in the lead, and we have a lot of great commitment from ND as number 10 from ND hits it straight to the middle, and great save by Immaculate Heart as number one, Charlotte Morris hits it back over, and we get the point. Notre Dame 24-20.
Paige Schwartz finishes off that play right there with a big hit. But as we saw before, to save the ball and keep the rally in play, a huge save by Giolana Orosio.
ND has won this first set of the game as they just barely make it over. Immaculate Heart having trouble to hit it back.
Yeah.
Great set, ladies.
Amazing set by both sides. You saw back and forth, tie games, one winning over the other, but it all came down to Notre Dame winning the last couple points, 25-20. I think that the timeout in the regrouping, right when Immaculate Heart had that, it kind of boosted Notre Dame away to finish that set. But otherwise, great job by both sides.
Yes, I agree with you, Jimmy. What a great set by ND and Immaculate Heart. A lot of competition there. And a lot of great plays.
Yeah, so far right now for Immaculate Heart, we have Katie Gorski with 2 huge blocks, Hannah Calderon with 2 amazing saves, as we mentioned and saw before, Marin Forbes with the save, and Giolana Orosio with that save at the very end to keep Immaculate Heart in play and trying to save that set. For Notre Dame, we have Marissa Marino, a captain, with a great tip to keep their momentum going. Charlotte Morris with 5 huge hits. Olivia Orbelander with a block, a hit, and Paige Schwartz, 3 hits. And finally, the game changer for Notre Dame that I believe gave them that lead and that win that set. Caroline Paradon with 6 hits and 2 tips. That was the huge playmaker there.
Yes, what a great game. For those listening, for those who have not bought their tickets, the homecoming dance is this Saturday from 8 to 11 p.m. in the gym. Tickets are on sale for $25 per person, $50 per couple in the quad. If you plan to bring a guest from another school, a guest pass is required. You may pick them up in the main office. Also, those wondering, the first NDHS Japan trip will be happening in summer 2018. There will be an informational meeting for parents on October 11th at 6:30 p.m. in room 11. Please let Miss Shoji know if you're interested in this trip. It is open to all Notre Dame students.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Sebastian. As we mentioned before, Notre Dame prides themselves with their not only athletic ability, but their academic excellence, along with love in all the communities we have here. A word from the athletic director, Coach Kevin Rooney, was heard saying, Notre Dame High School has a tradition of excellence. Our student athletes, men and women, compete in 12 sports with 45 teams. Notre Dame participates in the Mission League, which is one of the best and most competitive leagues in Southern California. We pride ourselves in the philosophy that our students are academically proven first more than athletically. And also a word from the program director for these Lady Knights on the volleyball team, Ben Diaz, who you will see later in our broadcast after this for varsity, was heard saying, when people think of Notre Dame High School, the first thing that should come to mind is family. This is what sets us apart from all other schools.
I agree with that. A great thing also is it doesn't just matter about if we win or lose. It's the sportsmanship, a very important thing that ND has and all these schools.
Definitely love embraced within our community. As you can see, all this breast cancer awareness and love and funding that keeps the school so close to each other and familiar and loving. That's what I love about this place. So hoping to see a great second set here. Notre Dame won the first 25-20 against the Pandas. And what do you think is going to go on this? What do you think is going to go on this second set?
Well, the second set, I believe, is going to be a great match. There was a lot of competition, a lot of passes, great hits, sets, spikes, and so I'm looking forward to this next match.
Yeah, definitely.
Immaculate Heart serving, and ND number one Charlotte Morris just barely making it, hitting it, but misses it.
Yeah, it ricocheted off her hands, but wasn't able to get it as she there gets the nice pick.
Another serve by Immaculate Heart as great passes and a lot of competition is happening. Number one, yet again, Charlotte Morris with the pass and just a little tip by number 6, just making it over, and ND gained the point 1-1.
You saw the Pandas trying to go for that save, keep the ball in play, wasn't able to. So now
number 6 is serving for ND. Great serve. What fantastic serve right next to the line. Ace.
Great job by Notre Dame there. It looked like it was going out from our view here. Ended up not going out. Great call by the officials and better serve by Notre Dame's Marissa.
Yes, Marissa serving again, number 6. Another great serve. Immaculate Heart just misses it. Number 26. What a great serve.
Marissa's second ace in a row as the ball was tipped off Immaculate Heart's hand. They weren't able to keep it in play. And now the score is 3-1. Notre Dame winning.
Number 6, Marissa is serving again. Nice serve. Straight to number 24. And yet Immaculate Heart hits it straight over. Our number 2 setter, Oldham, just passes it. And number 32 with a spike. A lot of competition here as number 10 from ND, Olivia Oberlander, jumps up, blocks it, and we get the point.
That
4-1.
great play started with Marissa's set, and they hit it over, and then finished with Oberlander's block to give Notre Dame that point. 4-1 Notre Dame.
Yeah, what a nice serve by number 6, Marissa Amarino. But ND fails to get the point. 4-2 Notre Dame.
So far this set, we've seen a lot of blocks, as we mentioned before, and tips. We've seen a lot of attempted hits. Some have gotten into the net, and some have just gotten blocked because of these strong defenses we have, especially the Pandas.
Lots of great teamwork for ND as they gain the point against Immaculate Heart.
Yeah, a missed opportunity for Immaculate Heart as they hit it outside of the lines and weren't able to keep under control in the ball in play.
Number 32, Caroline Paradin, which showed a lot of great work last set, served it over, and yet number 9 from Notre Dame, Paige Schwartz, just hits it straight down to Immaculate Heart, and Immaculate Heart was not able to hit it back.
Yeah, after 3 hits and that one tip, Paige Schwartz is off to a great start in last set and continuing into this set, doing a great job, and now leading 6-2. 4-point lead, small, but it is early, so a great start for Notre Dame. That's why we have this timeout called by the Pandas. Pandas really looking to win this rematch here. They didn't win either of the sets played in the last game between the Knights and the Pandas, but are hoping to win not one set here, but multiple, and they're going to have to win.
Yes, the Pandas are going to want to go to the third set if they're going to want to win this. Yet again, Notre Dame, number 32, Caroline Paradin with a nice serve straight to the middle, and Immaculate Heart with some passes just hits it right in the net.
Yeah, wasn't able to get it over there.
Yet another serve, great saves by Immaculate Heart as they pass it right over to ND, but yet number 10 from ND spikes it straight down the middle. Yet Immaculate Heart receives it, and great passes and a great game as number 9, yet again, number 9 from ND, Paige Schwartz with another hit straight down to Immaculate Heart.
That's why she is a captain, huge leader for this team, and huge player, doing a great job out there. That is her
Great work.
4th big hit, one going out, and that one got them the point there.
Number 32, ND with a great save as number 1, always with those great hits, Charlotte Morris. But Immaculate Heart just hits it out of the net.
Yeah, Katie Gorski, already with 2 blocks, having a great game. Tried to hit that ball and get it in bounds with a lot of power, but it ended up spitting out. Weird, awkward touch on the ball that ended up pushing the ball out.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of great commitment today by the Lady Knights, as Immaculate Heart also with a lot of great passes. Number 2 with a great bump as a set, but yet Immaculate Heart is able to hit it back with a pass, but was unable to hit it over the net.
Yeah, earlier in that play, we saw that Katie Gorski hit it, and it looked like it was going out, but it was saved by Marissa on Notre Dame. But luckily, Notre Dame was able to get that point back.
11-2 ND as they just tip it right over the net, getting the point.
Yeah, definitely great job by Olivia Oberlander tipping that ball over to get Notre Dame that point.
Caroline Paradon keeps serving, but they are nice serves, which are winning these points. A lot of A lot of work here by ND as they keep passing, and yet a lot of great rallies here. Number 1.
Oh, and a great hit by Charlotte Morris, but it didn't go over. It was trailing along the net there and the ball wasn't able to get over. But great job by Charlotte Morris.
Yet number 32 continues to serve on ND, and she is a great server for this team. She is one which we look up to, and which is why we've basically been winning games. Yet a spike by her straight in to the left side of the court. Great spike by number 32.
She has the most stats and very colorful energy here as she's keeping the Notre Dame Knights going as they're winning 13-2 against the Pandas.
32, Caroline Paradon continues to serve as she's showing a lot of great work and commitment this past set.
Yeah, we just saw a great block by Paige Schwartz, one of the captains, to keep the ball in play. And now Paradon continuing to serve 14-2. And it looks like the Immaculate Heart Pandas are subbing in some players. They're subbing in number 23, Gianna Herrera, and 18, Maddie Herrera.
ND is ahead by 12, which is looking good, but Immaculate Heart is starting to step up their game. They have a lot of great passes, and there's been a lot of great rallies as Immaculate Heart hits it right in between 2 players, 32 and 6 of ND, winning the point 3-14.
Once again, a little bit confusion there. Great job by Immaculate Heart, hoping to get some momentum and get back into this close game in the second set. Looked like that change out within players helped out.
Hannah Calderon on Immaculate Heart serving straight to number 2 as yet again Notre Dame is able to hit it back as they keep passing and with the spike. But Immaculate Heart with the great block. Notre Dame unable to hit it back.
Yeah,
Great
Notre Dame
job
not
by
able to keep that in play as the block went right in the center of Notre Dame's defense, but no one was there. So Immaculate Heart gets the point, down by 10 now.
Great save by number 2 from ND as they just barely hit it back over. And yet number 1 on ND, Charlotte Morris, our captain, hits it straight over to the Immaculate Heart, winning the point 15-4.
And for Immaculate Heart, Hannah Calderon attempted her 3rd save, but it wasn't successful as Immaculate Heart wasn't able to get the ball over the net. And now number 10 for Notre Dame, Olivia Oberlander with the serve.
Great hits by Immaculate Heart as there's a great rally coming up here. And just on the top of the net, ND's spike was rolling. But yet again, yet another one. Number 9 from ND, Paige Schwartz, as we've been saying, has been doing great hits. She just did a great spike yet again to Immaculate Heart, winning the point, 16-4.
And now number 22, Isabella Ramos, subbing in for the Pandas. And that last play, though, we had a great, amazing block from Maddie Herrera on.
Great serve, number 10 from ND. As number 13 from ND, Sose, just hits it straight in the middle, getting the point for ND, 17-4. Great lead by ND.
Now Oberlander with her 3rd or 4th serve here, 17-4 Notre Dame.
Great serve to the left side as Immaculate Heart, number 22, Isabel Ramos, just slides off her arms and wasn't able to hit it back.
Great job, though. Now Oberlander continuing to serve, hopefully taking this to number 25, ending this set and ending the game.
18-4. Notre Dame, Immaculate Heart with the passes and a straight spike right over, but into the crowd, unable to hit it straight to ND. ND 19-4 as the set is starting to close up.
Great attempt by Gianna Herrera, and now for Notre Dame, we have number 14 subbing in, Alexa Vivas, playing in the middle backcourt for Notre Dame. Oberlander with another serve.
Immaculate Heart with a lot of anticipation to win some points and great passes and sets. And the great block by Immaculate Heart, but yet they're still hitting it over, and a spike just barely out of the line. ND gaining the point yet again, 24.
A captain for the Pandas, Isabella Valenzuela, attempted the hit but ended up going out. Now Notre Dame with the 16-point lead. And
Served by number 10, Olivia Oberlander, just right at the top of the net, just missing it. Notre Dame 20-5.
Immaculate Heart finally ending Oberlander's long, really great streak of serves. But hopefully we could see energy come out and momentum come out of this serve and this series for Immaculate Heart as they just scored a point.
Good serve by Immaculate Heart as it goes straight down the middle and was just a little bit hard to hit back. Serving number 18 on Immaculate Heart, Maddie Herrera, as they serve it yet again, unable for ND to hit it back. We are looking at 20-7 ND.
An attempted save by Regan Harris, but it's just slipped by her. And Immaculate Heart is now on a 3-point win streak right now.
Out by Immaculate Heart as ND 21-7. Looking good for the ND Knights as the set is beginning to close, but yet Immaculate Heart is gaining points.
And a sub for Notre Dame as number 1 Charlotte Morse, who's had a great game so far, comes out, and replacing her is Malia Goka with the serve.
Great serve by Malia as Immaculate Heart just barely saves it, but yet hits it down and it wasn't able to hit it back.
Yeah, great job by Immaculate Heart trying to keep the ball in play, but wasn't quite able to as Notre Dame's Goka goes for another serve.
Another nice serve by number 7, Malia. Oh, but hits the top of the net and doesn't make it over, but it looked good. Too bad.
It did look good indeed. 22-8. Immaculate Heart trying to get some momentum again here as number 23 for them comes out, Gianna Herrera, and replacing her is Forbes, who already has one amazing save this game.
Number 27 from Immaculate Heart, Isabel Valenzuela, just hits it in the net. ND 23-8, looking good for the Lady Knights.
Another sub comes out, Paige Schwartz, and Catherine Converse comes in for her. And we had another sub there as number 14.
Number 10 on ND, Olivia Oberlander with the serve as Immaculate Heart just hits it over straight to the middle. And yet, again, number 32, Caroline Paradin, not with a sharp straight hit, but with just a little pass right down the middle of the Immaculate Heart.
There you saw some confusion there for the Immaculate Heart defense, and now 24-8 game point, but Kate Converse was not able to get the ball over. Looks extremely disappointed, but she's had a great game, and I know she'll come back from it.
Yeah, we've seen a very great game tonight as it's 24-9 and the set is beginning to close. Number 11 on Immaculate Heart, number Malay Harkness just hits it, great serve, but ND fails to hit it back.
And Immaculate Heart keeping this set alive, 24-10. They were once down, I think 16-2 at one point. So huge comeback as of right now for them as they're keeping this set alive.
Yes.
Wanting to win this game.
Immaculate Heart making progress with a great serve yet again by number 11. But fail to hit it back as ND wins the game 25-10. What a great game.
They finished with an amazing set from Kate Converse to Osose Egbase with the tip over their whole team as the Pandas were not able to get it. Now showing their amazing sportsmanship that both teams are praising, and a lot of love, and the cheerleaders showing the love as well. So we've had the first set 25-22 in favor of Notre Dame, and the second 25-10. Their adjustments were huge, and key players were huge as well. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you. Great game tonight as we are heading to varsity coming up in just a couple minutes.
Yeah, be sure to tune in to our varsity game also on Twitter. NDHS Sports Net is our Twitter handle. Please be sure to follow our live updates, and please be sure to tune in to our varsity game between these two schools as well. I'm one of your announcers, Jimmy Johnson.
Thank you. Good night. And watch the next game for varsity. I'm Sebastian Champion.
And I'm Jimmy Johnson.
And
thank you.
good night.